This video will explain how Centennial High School's administration will proceed and follow up with bullying situations. It's up to all of us to promote a positive climate change on our campus. Does your situation classify as bullying?
When bullying happens, it's usually one-sided. If it's mutual, that meaning it might have started off, kind of picking on someone, but if the other student picks back or has a mutual argument with that kid, that's not bullying. It's just an argument between two kids.
What's the proper way to respond so that I don't get in trouble when someone is bullying me?
You need to respond, please don't do that, and then report to the teacher or an administrator or even the SRO so we can follow up and talk to that student.
It's better to report it and kind of let us sort it out, because it's better for us to investigate something and find it's not bullying than us not be able to investigate and find out that it actually was. I encourage you to report it either to a teacher, to administrator, report it online. Just remember that this reports are confidential. We may call you down to talk to you because they're not anonymous, but we'll definitely keep the information confidential.
Bullying can't be dealt with by an administrator if you don't report it.
Well, one of those ways is that they can report bullying by using the cell phone app that they downloaded through Titan Time this past school year. Of course, they can also report it to one of their teachers or their assistant principal or a parent, who can then report it back to that particular student's AP. But we always ask them to please make sure that they're serious in their reporting of these incidents, and it's not just to play a joke on a friend or a peer, because we as administrators take bullying very serious here.
What happens after I report bullying?
When bullying situations are reported to administration, we start with getting student statements. We will call in the person who reported it and get a statement from them. We will call in the person who is allegedly responsible for it and get a statement from them, and hopefully there are other students or observers around that we can get statements from as well, to try to get a good picture of what went on. We will ask these students for a written statement, just because we may be sharing the information with other administrators, we may be interviewing 4 or 5 students, we need to be sure that we have our facts straight. After we have statements and feel like we have a clear picture of what happened and what went on, we will have an additional conversation with the student where we set our behavior expectations, remind them how we expect them to respond and react in situations. We will probably also at that time sign some sort of a behavior contract, whether it's a student-to-student conflict sheet or a harassment and bullying contract, something in writing that shows we've had this conversation, we've told you our expectations, and you understand that if this behavior or situation continues, there will be a serious disciplinary consequence attached to it. The first time, if no one was harmed physically in the initial situation, we will do an investigation, have a conversation, sign behavior contracts. We then make contact with the parents. If the students have a common class together or a common teacher, we will make contact with the teacher and say, hey, keep an eye on them. We've had a situation, maybe we want to separate them, maybe they don't want to do group work together. And that is how it's handled the first time. If the behavior continues, the consequence gets very serious very quickly. It escalates rapidly. Students could be suspended from school, could be placed in in-school suspension, could go as far as losing the privilege to attend Centennial High School and being placed at the SOC if the behavior continues. And again, that escalates very quickly.
What about off-campus bullying?
Most of the things that occur or wind up on the campus start off campus. If it's something that's exclusively off campus, then certainly authorities need to be contacted, police, those kinds of things, and handled through those channels. But if it spills over onto the campus, if there's discussion about it on the campus, or if it causes a disruption on the campus, then the administration gets involved. If it's just between 2 individuals, we'll definitely document and warn both parties about any further activity. Sometimes it's hard to resolve if it's a one-time deal and there was just between 2 individuals, but we need witnesses. We need you to, if something like this is going on, pay attention to those around you and see if you can get names and report those names to us so we can interview them.
If the inappropriate behavior or the bullying continues even after it's been reported, that doesn't mean that we haven't had the conversations. Even after we've talked to students and we've notified parents and we've made changes in classrooms and moved students away from each other and let the teachers know and signed behavior contracts, students may continue to make poor decisions. You've got to let us know. We will handle it. We will address it. If the bullying continues, we need to know so that we can do something about it and get that behavior off of our campus.
You know how to report it, and you know it will be handled, and we are all responsible for creating a positive atmosphere at our school.